I'm going to go ahead and log out so that you'll see what the same thing that we all see when we get to the AudioScribe Continuing Education portal. And you will see your name. If you have not put in your name and your password yet, do that and click on the check mark so that it says remember username. That way, every time you come to it, your name will be there. And you can just click on log in. And then you'll see something like this. And over to the left, you'll see home and dashboard. Dashboard will list all of your course categories. And then you should see calendar, private files, then my courses. All of your courses will be listed on the left here. So I'm going to go to orientation first because that is going to be the first thing that you do. Some of you have already completed your orientation. And so you've seen this. For those of you who haven't, please notice the AudioScribe forum, the Facebook page, the Trailblazers support page. If you are not on the Trailblazers support page as of yet, please friend me on Facebook, or you can friend Michelle, and one of us can add you to the Trailblazers support page. The whole purpose of the Trailblazers support page is to give you all a place to ask questions of users that have been using the software for a long time. Michelle and I also check the Facebook Trailblazers support page many times a day to see if somebody has a question. I find that our users are fantastic. People are always jumping in and helping other people, and that's really wonderful. That's what we like to see. And then the AudioScribe YouTube channel link will get you to our YouTube channel. If you have not been to our YouTube channel, I would really like it if you would go there and check it out. There are a lot of videos that are there for you. They are free. You can watch them as often as you like, and they're there for you. And if you are there and you see that there is something that you are interested in having a video made for, but the video is not there, please email me or use the Skype group and say it would be great if you would add a video on this, and I will be happy to do that. As you scroll down, orientation is going to actually tell you what all these little images on the right-hand side mean. Generally, when you see the book image, you're going to be reading something. A picture is obviously a picture. Terminology is the words that we use and how we define them. It's important that you pay attention to terminology, especially if you're new to us, because we do use some terms a little differently than you might have used them before you met us. For example, when I say to transcribe, I do not mean for you to listen to audio and type. I never mean that, ever. I only ever mean that you would take your voice, the recording of your voice, usually your backup voice track, and use the feather icon in SpeechCAT to have Dragon make text from your voice. This is usually only done if, let's say that you're dictating and for some reason something goes wrong and text is no longer dropping to the screen, or it's dropping poorly, like you see the word him, it, will. Anytime you see something like that, something has gone awry. It could be your microphone is too wet. It could be that one of your wires has a short in it. It could be any number of things. But if you're recording a voice backup track in SpeechCAT, you just have to make sure that the bar is bouncing and you're still recording good quality audio. And you can do that by monitoring and listening to what you're recording. And as long as the audio is good, don't let them see you sweat. And at the end of the day, we can actually take your voice backup track and send it through Dragon for it to make text, and everything that's missing will suddenly appear. So that's an important thing to know, and it's a very different definition than what you may have known before. Oh, Pam, you cannot hear me? Make sure that I'm not muted. Okay. Okay. Michelle can, so you can, most of you can hear me. For some reason, Pam can't. Michelle, maybe you can chat with her and get her going. Okay. So after you understand what all these icons are, you're going to be introduced to the course creators and the instructors, and then we'll talk about the prerequisites for the classes, your courses, what you will need, programs to be used. For example, Zoom, which is what we're using right now, is the primary presentation software that I'm going to use for these classes. There may be times when we use GoToMeeting, Join Me, or TeamViewer, but TeamViewer is the software that we use the most for dial-in support. So if you have a problem and you can't figure it out, you don't know how to ask the question, that is okay. You contact me, you can contact me via Skype and say, Adria, something's not right. Could you pop in? And I'll pop in via TeamViewer. I cannot do that without your permission. AudioScribe has a policy. We do not save passwords. And so there's no way we can ever come into your computer unless you give us your password. And that is always the case. And then we go into how do you get the help that you need, which is really important, and the contact information for the teachers and instructors. And mine is right here at the top. You've all got me on Skype, so we're good to go. The last thing is about Real-Time Coach. Real-Time Coach is an option for you. It is not mandatory because this is a pilot class. But if any of you want to work on your recognition accuracy, it is a fantastic tool because it offers dictations at different speeds. The dictations vary, whether it's Q&A or a jury charge or an interview. There are all sorts of available videos to watch. And the wonderful thing about Real-Time Coach is that when you're done with your dictation, it actually gives you an accuracy percentage that you have achieved during that dictation. And what you're seeing here on the left, master transcript and my transcript, this shows you what happens when you use Real-Time Coach. When you're dictating, it lays down your words and then it compares it to the master document and shows you your errors. So your errors are in red, the correct words are in the deep black, and then the gray are the words that you got right. And it's a wonderful, wonderful tool. Michelle, do you know if it's still $65 a month or is it less now? We don't know yet.
It should still be $65. We have to have that meeting,
Yes, with
and
Mary
we'll
Beth.
find out more.
Right. So if you're interested in it, I believe the price is $65 a month, but we have a meeting with Mary Beth at Real Time Coach on Thursday, I believe, and we'll know more, and I will definitely let you know if that price goes down. If you want to sign up for it, all you have to do is call Liz via our 800 number and say, Liz, I'd like to sign up for Real Time Coach, and she'll get you set up and going. Now, here's a really important one. Where do you report issues with ACE? You can report it to myself or to Michelle. We know that you are way, way better, a whole world better than I am at punctuation and things like that. So if you see something that I've written poorly, please do send me an email and let me know, because I really want this course to be the best that it can be. You can also email Michelle. She does a lot of the changes, and she's awesome at it. And so if you would just let us know, we'd appreciate very much any constructive criticism you want to provide. And please don't worry about hurt feelings. This is what we do, and we want it to be a really positive and correct course. Down here, we just have a little picture of what a SpeechCAT setup can look like. In this picture, you see the foot pedal. People don't normally use the foot pedal on the job, but they do normally use it in the scope phase, and that's why we're showing it here. Everything else is used on the job: the computer, the USB audio devices, the mask, and the mics, and the linear headset for monitoring. And then down here at the very bottom, you have the computer skills prerequisite exam. If you pass the computer skills prerequisite exam, there is no need for you to take the computer skills class. However, if you would just like to take it, then you can just skip the prerequisite exam completely and go straight to the computer skills course. I'm going to go ahead and show you that over here on the left, you see the different parts of a course. So if you want to go back to something in the course or bounce around, you can use the guide on the left. If you want to see more of your screen, and I'll just go down here and go back to my courses, and I'll go to Breathing Matters, and I'm going to go to Dictation Devices and Sources, and let's say that I wanted to see a bigger screen. Over here to the left of the word ACE is this little button with the 3 lines on it. If you click on that button one time, then it goes away so that you can focus on just the page. And here I'm just giving you an introduction. Many of you have been using SpeechCAT for years, and you know all of this. And if you don't feel that it's going to be beneficial to you, you can certainly skip it. For the new people, I think it's a great thing to help you to understand these devices and what we call them, because when you are working, when you're on the job, if you have a problem, I'm going to say, what devices are plugged into your mask? And a lot of the times I get people saying, I don't know. And that's a shame, because you need to know. You need to know what each of your devices are called. You need to know how they function. And you need to know what kinds of things they can do. Like for example, the first time you ever plug in a USB audio device, if it has the ability to be a playback device, as the Pure Audio SA right here does, normally those have 2 holes as opposed to 1. The pink hole is the microphone, and the green hole is where you could actually plug in a headset. Most people utilize their sound card in the computer to listen to things. And if you go to listen and you've just plugged in one of these USB devices for the first time, it is going to set these devices as the playback device as opposed to the sound card that you're used to using. And so that's something you need to understand. You need to understand how to control that, how to change that in your computer, what the different masks that are available are, what they're called, so that if somebody says, well, what mask are you using? You can say, well, I'm using the TalkTech Smart Mic mask, or I'm using the new TalkTech mask. It's good to know what is what. These are some examples of desktop microphones. I use this one right here, and it's a fantastic desktop microphone if you're looking for one, and much more reasonably priced than the one above it, which a lot of captioners use. This is a very expensive microphone, and while I'm sure it's a great mic, the one that I have that's a third of the price is beautiful. It works perfectly. It's actually what I'm speaking to you on right now. And then we talk about headsets, wired, wireless, USB, and the ones that are not USB. And then we go into just different tips and pointers about using a mask and being a voice writer. And this was written by Sharon Lambert, who's a former NVRA president. She's a retired court reporter now. She was one of my trainers for a while, and I took her to New York to help me with a 6-week class. She came in for the first 2 weeks and taught the voice writing portion of it. And when she was teaching it, she wrote this for us. And so I have used it and added to it, but she is the original author. And so it is, in fact, valid and written by a voice writer. And then this is just a question we get asked a whole lot. When do I create another Dragon user profile? So that's good information. And then if you want to jump to somewhere else, you can turn our little sidebar back on. And this time we'll go to computer skills. And for those of you who are iffy in any way, shape, or form about your computer skills, you really should take the time to go through this class. I think that it's beneficial. I know that a few of you have already done it. Does anyone that's already done this portion have any comments for the rest of the class that may not have done it? No? No? Not at all? Okay. I know it's early and everybody's being shy.
It's awesome class.
So these are the first 3 things I'd like you guys to get accomplished in this week. If you have a busy week and you don't get it all done, please don't stress. There's plenty of time for you to do it. There's so much to cover in SpeechCAT that I'd rather spend the majority of our time there. And for those of you who don't have SpeechCAT, I'm going to get you your subscription, your free subscription that you can use while you're taking the class. That I'm going to get to tomorrow. So those of you who do not have SpeechCAT right now, you should have your link, your instructions for installation, and your product key tomorrow. If any of you need help setting it up, please don't hesitate to let me know. You can email me, you can Skype me, whichever you're more comfortable with, and I'm happy to dial in and do the installation and the setup for you. You will learn every aspect of setting up SpeechCAT by yourself once you get into SpeechCAT, but I think it's sometimes easier to have it set up prior to actually doing the course. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the most difficult things that we have to understand, and that is what we call this sound setup. And this setup is crucial to your success in digital recording, and also in assuring that your voice track is always on point. And so the sound setup is going to be, without a doubt, the most difficult thing you have to learn for those of you that are new, and sometimes for those of you that have been using it for years, because once it's set, you usually don't have to change it until you have a different mic or a USB audio device maybe goes out. But when it does, most people call us and have us help them to get it set up because it's a little confusing. But if you do Breathing Matters and you learn what these USB devices are called and how they behave, this is going to become a much easier thing. There is a lot to the SpeechCAT 101 class. Once we get through that, we're going to progress to what I call SpeechCAT problems and solutions. And it's just common problems that we see, from audio problems to USB audio devices not being set up properly in Device Manager and things like that. So there is so much to learn in this course. We're going to take it one step at a time. And remember that you're never alone. You can Skype me. I realize that the majority of you are going to be working on your classes in the evenings and on the weekends. And if you need me, if you're stuck, then Skype me. I always have Skype with me. I have Skype on my phone. It may be a good idea for you all to get Skype on your phone. That way you can just Skype and not have it on your computer if you don't want it to. It's important for you to know that you can have, you can access ACE on a computer separate from your work computer. And also you can access it from, I think you can access it from your iPad as well. Have you tried that yet, Mitch?
Let me check. My iPad's right here.
Yeah, mine is too. I haven't tried accessing it from the iPad, but you should be able to do it from the iPad as well.
Adrian, this is Becky.
Yes.
I use it on my iPad.
What's that, Susie?
It's Becky.
Oh, hey, Becky.
I can access the ACE portal on my iPad.
Oh, you can?
Yes, I've been using it with the iPad.
Perfect. Perfect. That's wonderful. Because it does not have to be on the same computer. You're going to be doing your exercises on your computer, but you can have this on your iPad and just follow the instructions. You can watch the videos. everything, because you'll see as you're going through the courses, there will be videos that you can watch. I know in SpeechCAT there are definitely videos. Ah, here we go. Sound dialogue, the Windows sound dialogue. As you can see, the only thing that is showing up is my sound card because none of my USB devices are yet plugged in. Now I've plugged in the desk. So there you go. You can watch those to your heart's content. I do find them helpful. I think you will too. Okay. Now, once you start doing the quizzes, at any time you can come up here in the upper right-hand corner of the ACE screen where you see your name and your little picture if you've added one. You can click there and you can go down to grades. And it'll show you your grades on whatever testing you've done right here. And if you want to go and see more grades, you can click on that and then it'll show you even more like about the very specific portions of the course. You can also access your profile and you can add a little bit about yourself there. You can go to messages. This is another way that you can communicate with me is through the messages. You can send a message to me that way or to anyone. And you can also get back to your dashboard. And you can see now your dashboard, you can configure yourself. Everybody can configure their own dashboard. And one of the things that I like to do is see who else is online. And so you can see that here. And normally, I could use the messages, but I don't generally use the messages too much here because I think that people tend to check their email or Skype more often. And so generally, if I have a question, I'll email you or Skype you individually if it's a question just for you. So that's pretty much how this is going to go down. Does anybody have any questions?
When you take a quiz, can you retake a quiz?
Absolutely. As many times as you like.
This is Vicki, and whoever asked that question, that was a very good question.
Yes, it was. I agree. I think that the quizzes, there are two purposes for the quizzes. First, the quizzes help us to understand if we are getting it, if we are really understanding what we're reading and doing. And the second purpose for the quizzes is really to be able to show for the purpose of CE credits that you have accomplished that task. You have successfully accomplished the task. And so it's important to us. I do have to go and grade some exams because when the exams are not multiple choice or true false, there are some that I have to go and grade. So I'll be grading those of you who've already started tomorrow. And I generally will go and look at all of what has been done the day before the class. And so I'll be able to say, okay, well, this person has completed this, not completed that. And I might send you an email just asking, are you having any trouble? Do you need any help? Well, that's pretty much all for tonight, because this was just meant to be an introduction and a way of showing you around so that you feel comfortable. So is everybody good with what we've gone over?
Great
Yes, ma'am.
job, Adria. Great job.
Oh, thank you. And we are recording all of the classes. So if something comes up and you miss a class, please just let me know. And I will send you a link so that you can watch the class. And also anybody who wants to re-see it, I will be sending links to the class. We put them also on YouTube, but on a different YouTube channel, because ACE has a YouTube channel for itself. So the link will be posted. I'll probably post it in our Skype group. That way you can just click on the link there and go watch it if you'd like. I thank you all for attending tonight. And I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Adria. This is awesome.
Oh, I'm so glad. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and we're all going to learn a lot from each other.
Yeah.
Adria, this is Vicki. Am I a member of that Skype group? Well, I'm a friend of yours on Skype, I think.
Yeah,
I think we're connected, but
you should see, let's see, let me go up to where. Yes, you are.
okay,
So
great.
you should be able to look into your Skype and
Okay,
see
great.
SpeechCAT Pilot Course. And it should have the little ACE logo on it.
That's great.
SpeechCAT Pilot Course Participants. That's what I did. And I also created an ACE instructors portal,
Oh, group.
Skype for us to speak together when we need to. So look for that as well in your Skype.
I will.
And that should be good. Okay. Well, thank you all. Let me see if anybody has any questions. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing.
Thank you, Adria. This is Pam.
Oh, thank you, Pam. I'm looking forward to hearing from you all. Please don't hesitate to call me and let me know if you have any questions or you need any help at all.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Y'all all have a great night.
Good night, Adria. Thank
Good
you.
night.
You too. Good night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Bye.